Hello YouTube community, my name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got playing going around. As you can tell by the title of the thumbnail and the video, this is my WWE Raw review on high. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Give this video 30 likes and go check out my AEW Revolution review on highlights and follow all my social media down below in the description. Now let's get started. Now, WWE Raw was a pretty good show, in my own opinion, and I give that show a 7 out of 10. Alright, WWE Raw was live from San Antonio, Texas, Ross Bank Center. The commentary were Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Then, now, forever together. The WWE video leads us into the show. Pre-show arrivals: World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk and Women's Intercontinental Champion AJ Lee arrived together. Michael Cole says AJ Lee will defend the title against Bayley tonight. Maxine Dupree arrives with Akira Tozawa and Otis. Shield face Natty. The Judgment Day is shown celebrating their clubhouse. They throw Finn Balor merchandise away. Women's World Champion Stephanie McCure is shown arriving at the Frost Bank Center. We'll take a look at Randy Orton's betrayal of Cody Rhodes. Randy Orton will be on Raw tonight. Seth Rollins kicks off Monday Night Raw. The cavalcade of masked men storms the ringside arena before one gets in the ring. The man pulls his mask off, and it's Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins says he wants to make something perfectly clear. Seth Rollins created the Vision, and he will be the one to kill the Vision. He doesn't care if you're on the shelf, like Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. He doesn't care if you're a peon or hanger on like Austin Theory or Logan Paul. If you stand next to Paul Heyman, consider yourself marked for death. 2 weeks ago, he had the satisfaction of putting a steel chair into Paul Heyman's back and stomping his fat head onto the mat. Paul Heyman, looking evil, something like that. I hope I'm saying it right. Paul Heyman looking evil, unshaved, and sporting a bloodshot eye appear on the stage. Seth Rollins says Paul Heyman thinks he's smarter than him. Hey, you know what? You chant. Paul Heyman chant picks up. Seth Rollins says the crowd is saying it for him. Paul Heyman is staring into the distance and walking down the aisle at the Glasgow pace. Seth Rollins says he hopes it was worth it for Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins has made a lot of mistakes in his life, letting Paul Heyman into his inner circle, and the worst one he made. Seth Rollins will pay him back for his betrayal every single day until he's gone from this business. He'll cut Paul Heyman out like the cancer he is. You can never trust Paul Heyman. Do not trust Paul Heyman. That's all I gotta say. Paul Heyman is shaking in anger and wipes his eyes. Paul Heyman says he wasn't going to come out here, but he wouldn't miss this for the world. Did he interrupt Seth Rollins' precurious, something like that? Precurious. Oh yeah, precurious. I'm sorry. Little hateful promo. It's because he's effing with him. Seth Rollins F with him, so he did it back. The rule is FAFO. Paul Heyman shouts the Akami before saying the FAF5. Brock Lesnar walks out onto the stage and takes his cowboy hat off. The masked man gets in the ring to protect Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman takes Brock Lesnar's hat and vest. Brock Lesnar serves the landscape in the ring and smiles. Brock Lesnar slowly paces around the ring before hitting the two men with a clothesline. Brock Lesnar hits one with a German suplex on the floor before giving another another an overhead belly to belly suplex. He gives another a belly to belly suplex into another human. Brock Lesnar screams and more going and screams and more going running in fear. One man jumps on his back, so Brock Lesnar slams him onto the steps. Brock Lesnar then crushes one with a suplex into the barricade. Brock Lesnar gets in the ring, and 3 masked men attack him. Brock Lesnar fights them off and stares at Seth Rollins before delivering a German suplex. Brock Lesnar gives another masked man an F5. Brock Lesnar takes the third one and gives him a German suplex. Brock Lesnar then stares at Seth Rollins and definitely hasn't gotten out of the ring. The lights go out. Over Femi music hits. Brock Lesnar is incensed as the crowd chants Oba. Seth Rollins stands in the corner and smirks. Brock Lesnar looks nervous upon seeing the massive Oba Femi. Oba Femi gets in the ring, and the crowd continues to chant his name. Brock Lesnar slowly starts to walk towards Oba Femi. Seth Rollins comes up to Brock Lesnar, but he scurries away when Brock Lesnar turns to him. Brock Lesnar then walks to Oba Femi, and Oba Femi grabs him and delivers a massive fall from grace. Oba Femi puts a foot on Brock Lesnar's back, on Brock Lesnar's chest, and points to the WrestleMania 42 sign. He is accepting Oba Femi's challenge. And I said it on my WWE Raw Review on Highlights last week that Oba Femi is going to challenge Brock Lesnar, and we're going to get that match. But did you see the way that Oba Femi dropped Brock Lesnar with the falling grace like it's nothing? Oh, that's gonna be a good match at WrestleMania 42. Alright, let me continue. Oba Femi celebrates and Brock Lesnar gets out of the ring looking completely stunned. Alright. Video package. Last Monday on Raw, the Usos demand an apology from CM Punk after saying he buried Roman Reigns next to his deceased father, Sika. They laid out CM Punk with a strike when he refused to apologize. Roman Reigns returns to Raw tonight to address CM Punk. Video package. El Grande Americano won the Rays tournament this past Saturday on AAA. Original El Grande Americano will battle El Grande Americano next. This should be fun to recap. So we go to commercial break. We get the first match. We get El Grande Americano with Los Americano, Bravo Americano, and Rayo Americano versus the original El Grande Americano. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie to you. This was a good match in my opinion. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. This was a good match in my opinion. The bell rings and the original immediately hits a rolling tiger kick. Original chops him in a corner and sends him into the ropes for a back body drop. Americano gets up in a corner and turns Original onto the top rope. Original Americano grabs Americano arm and applies an armbar over the top rope. Original released him before being disqualified. Los Americanos distracts Original, so Americano hits a baseball slide. Americano gets Original in the ring and drives his shoulder into the ring post. Original is hanging upside down on the ropes, so Americano hits a basement drop kick. Americano sends Original Americano into the ropes for a tilt-a whirl flapjack for a 2 count. Americano attacks original Americano in the corner, but Original Americano fires back with a back suplex. Original Americano attacks his leg and hits a dragon screw. Americano gets up on the apron and knocks him back. Americano goes for a slingshot, but Original Americano counters with a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. They trade chops before Original Americano delivers an overhead belly to belly suplex over the top rope onto Los Americanos. I think I got this right so far. So we go to commercial break. We come back from the break to see Americano chopping original Americano's chest. Americano sends him sternum first into the corner and goes for a suplex, but Original Americano flips through. Americano then hits a big suplex through Original Americano hits a big suplex throw, but he's too hurt to follow it up. Original Americano gets up and strikes away at him before twisting his leg and hitting a Russian leg sweep. Before short of hits another rolling tiger kick. Original Americano then starts up the rolling German suplex. Americano blocks a third suplex, so Original Americano hits a T-bone suplex. Americano drops Original Americano on the apron, so Original Americano takes out Rayo Americano with the cannonball. Original Americano gets in the ring and knocks Bravo Americano off the apron with a rolling tiger kick. Original Americano ducks a strike and hits Americano with an inverted Olympic slam for a near fall. Original Americano signs Americano up for Chaos Theory, but Americano holds the ropes. Americano kicks him and puts him on the top rope before kicking him in the face. Americano hits a rolling Death Valley Driver 1-2. Original Americano kicks out. Original Americano sends Americano into the corner with a suplex and goes for a moonsault. Original Americano picks the legs as he tries to boot him away. Original Americano applies an ankle lock, but Americano gets to the ropes to break it up. Bravo Americano gets on the ropes upon to give Americano the steel plate. Original Americano takes him away and hits Chaos Theory. German suplex. Rayo Americano distracts the referee as Original Americano covers. Original Americano attacks Rayo Americano and sends him over the top rope with a clothesline, going over himself in the ring. Bravo Americano puts the steel plate in Americano's mask. Original Americano sees Rayo Americano into the timekeeper's area and heads to the top rope. Original Americano hits a diving headbutt to Americano loaded mask, knocking himself out. Americano rolls over and picks up the win. The winner of the match, Grande Americano. This was a good match for what it was. Alright, tickets for WrestleMania 42 are 31.6% off today for 3/16 day. Now I thought that Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to show up, but it didn't happen, so that's all I gotta say. Let me take a sip of my water. Backstand drives into a park. A black sedan drives into the parking garage. Out steps Roman Reigns, World Tag Team Champions. The Usos greets their cousins. Roman Reigns says he knows it felt good for them to attack CM Punk. They said he deserved it. Roman Reigns says when you run your mouth, there are consequences. Roman Reigns looks into the camera and tells his entire bloodline they should be offended by what CM Punk said about his father. They have before and after WrestleMania, but that weekend CM Punk is his. Roman Reigns shakes hands with his cousins. Roman Reigns will address CM Punk's comment later tonight. Commercial break. Video package. Last week on Raw, Dirty Dominic Mysterio blamed Finn Balor for costing him the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This led to a confrontation to lead the Judgment Day, viciously beating Finn Balor down and excommunicating him from the stable. But can you imagine Finn Balor? Can you imagine the betrayal of Raquel? Can you imagine Raquel Rodriguez betrayed Liv Morgan to help Finn Balor? That would be a good storyline. Triple H, please do that. Have Raquel Rodriguez portray Liv Morgan from the help from Finn Balor. That would be a great storyline. And that's all I gotta say. All right. Video package. Liv Morgan tears up Finn Balor's jersey. He says this has been her plan since the day joining the Judgment Day. Finn Balor brought Finn Balor thought he was in control and in charge. Finn Balor was on borrowed time and didn't know it. She only put up with him. She only put up with Finn Balor out of respect for his relationship with Dominic Mysterio. Liv Morgan knows when Finn Balor is lying, scheming, and thinking he's being manipulative. It's been a pleasure watching Finn Balor fall from grace. Finn Balor couldn't hang with the Judgment Day anymore. Finn Balor got soft. He pathetic, a loser, and washed up. It made her sick, calling Finn Balor her family every week. They took a play out of a play out of Finn Balor's playbook. Finn Balor did teach them the Judgment Day way. Now they're on to bigger and better things. JD Madonna is finally free from Finn Balor holding him down. Daddy Dom is still the AA Mega Champion and will get the Intercontinental Championship back. Now that the Prince is gone, there's a new king on the throne. Raquel Rodriguez is a future champion and will take care of her WrestleMania opponent, Stephanie McCure. At WrestleMania 42, Liv Morgan will win the Women's World Championship. That family that Stephanie McCure says she hides behind has her back. Without Finn Balor, they're better than ever. Liv Morgan says, "Watch us." But can you imagine what Raquel Rodriguez portray Liv Morgan from the help from Finn Balor? That would be a great storyline right there. Please make that happen, Triple H. Cause Liv Morgan backdoor Raquel Rodriguez at the Royal Rumble. Y'all remember at the Royal Rumble when Liv Morgan eliminated Raquel Rodriguez? What if Raquel Rodriguez was to turn on Liv Morgan and cost her the Women's World Champion by the help of Finn Balor? Bro, please, Triple H, please book that. Please make that happen. It'll be a great storyline. That's all I gotta say. Alright, replay. This past Saturday at AAA, Ray's Dirty Dominic Mysterio defeated Vaquino to stay in AAA. Penta will defend his WWE Intercontinental Championship later tonight. Locker room segment. Roman Reigns is sitting in a locker room with the Usos. Jey Uso says he couldn't believe Roman Reigns didn't lay CM Punk out last time. Jimmy Uso says CM Punk had nothing on him. All they can say is Roman Reigns is a part-timer. Roman Reigns asks if they know how much he saw his father as a kid. They all didn't. They paid their dues. They pay their dues. Their kids don't have to go. I'm sorry, their kids don't have to. Roman Reigns doesn't care if people think he's a part-timer, as long as his wife and kids know him and know he's there for them. He's good. The Usos say they still haven't gotten their apology. Roman Reigns doesn't need an apology. He'll go get one later tonight. What's the worst that can happen? CM Punk beats him up. They laugh and Roman Reigns walks off. WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion AJ Lee heads to the ring for her first title defense. This is also her first Raw match since 2015. So we go to commercial break. The WWE Hall of Fame takes place on April 17th. So we get the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, AJ Lee versus Bayley. And I gotta say this this was a very good match between AJ Lee and Bayley. This was a dream match that we all have been waiting for. This was a good match right here. The bell rings, they circle the ring before locking up. They struggle off positions and release. They lock up again, and Bayley backs her into the ropes before giving a clean break. Bayley sends her into the ropes, but AJ Lee counters with a double leg roll up for a 2 count. AJ Lee rolls her up for another 2 count. AJ Lee hits another roll up for a near fall. Bayley lifts AJ Lee but AJ Lee slides out. Bayley picks her leg and applies la magistral for a 2 count. AJ Lee ducks a clothesline and slides under the bottom rope and to sweep her feet. AJ Lee heads to the top rope and hits a diving crossbody block. AJ Lee then dropkicks her out of the ring. Bayley looks frustrated at ringside. Bayley looks at the WrestleMania Las Vegas sign. Bayley gets in the ring, and AJ Lee catches her with a roll-up for a 1 count. AJ Lee grounds her and applies a bridging hammerlock. Bridging hammerlock. Bayley tries to roll out of it, but AJ Lee keeps the hammerlock applied. Bayley gets to her feet and rocks AJ Lee with the elbow. Bayley puts her on the apron and snaps the champion off the middle rope for a 2 count. Bayley shoves her out of the ring. So we go to commercial break. Back from the break, Bayley goes for a suplex on AJ Lee, but AJ Lee lands on top of her for a 2 count. Bayley goes for a belly to belly, but AJ Lee counters with a bulldog. Bayley struggles to get up. AJ Lee hits a clothesline and a back elbow, followed by a spinning heel kick for a near fall. AJ Lee hits a standing slice spread for another near fall. AJ Lee backs up to the corner for a shining wizard, but Bayley gets out and applies a single leg crab. AJ Lee rolls over and boosts her back. Bayley responds with a knee to the face for a near fall. Bayley covers again for a 2 count. Bayley sets up for the roast plant, but AJ Lee counters with a roll up for a 2 count. AJ Lee gets out of Bayley to belly, knocks her back. Knocks her back. AJ Lee goes to the top rope, but Bayley pulls her down and hits the Bayley to belly 1-2. AJ Lee kicks out. Bayley and AJ Lee crawl to each other. AJ Lee grabs her hand, so Bayley slaps her. Bayley looks at the WrestleMania sign and slaps her again. AJ Lee slaps back, and they get into a brawl. AJ Lee hits a spin kick to the midsection before hitting a shining wizard. AJ Lee goes for a Black Widow, but Bayley counters with a sidewalk slam. Bayley lands to the top rope and goes for a diving elbow drop, but AJ Lee moves. AJ Lee then applies the Black Widow in the center of the ring. Bayley screams in pain, and AJ Lee bends the arm back. Bayley has no choice but to tap out. The winner by submission and still your WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, AJ Lee. This was a good match between AJ Lee and Bayley. And let's move on. Backstage segment. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is talking with JD Madonna. Adam Pearce says Dominic Mysterio is not medically cleared. Intercontinental Champion Penta comes over and thanks Adam Pearce before walking off. Adam Pearce continues to argue with JD Madonna. So we go to commercial break. Back from the break, we see Becky Lynch attacking AJ Lee. Becky Lynch drives AJ Lee into the lead and down onto the stage. Becky Lynch is furious since losing the title to AJ Lee at the Elimination Chamber. Becky Lynch drives AJ Lee into the metal barricade and grinds her face on it. Becky Lynch kicks AJ Lee in the spine and throws a referee down. Becky Lynch gets her down to ringside area and drives her into the barricade before stomping away at her. WWE officials and referees run down to pull Becky Lynch away. Becky Lynch grounds the Women's Intercontinental Champion and smashes AJ Lee in the face with it. Becky Lynch stands over AJ Lee and holds the title up before walking off. Becky Lynch is a sore loser, man, and that's all I gotta say. But I hope AJ Lee gets her get back on Becky Lynch, and that's all I gotta say. Alright. Video package. This past Friday on SmackDown, Randy Orton unleashes a vicious and bloody attack on the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Now I'm gonna say this though, Randy Orton has to get 15 at WrestleMania 42. If Randy Orton does not get 15 at WrestleMania 42, everybody's gonna riot, and that's all I gotta say. Cause why would you have Randy Orton become the number one contender at the Elimination Chamber, to have Randy Orton lose to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42 for nothing? That don't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense, you need to have Randy Orton beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42. It makes sense because Randy Orton just turned heel at Cody Rhodes just turned heel at SmackDown last week, and that's all I gotta say. It says later tonight, Michael Cole will have an exclusive interview with Randy Orton. WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta makes his way to the ring. Penta does his entrance and grabs the microphone in the ring. The crowd loudly chants Penta. Penta says he told the world last week that he wants to be a fighting champion. He told Adam Pearce to pick anyone because Penta is always ready. Penta says he's a champion of the people and will defend the title in San Antonio, Texas. Whoever comes to the ring tonight needs to be ready because his name is Penta and he has zero fear. Alright. Dragon Lee answers the call. So commercial break. So we get the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Penta versus Dragon Lee. This was a fantastic match. This was a very good match. And the referee was Jessica Carr. Alright. We join this match in progress. Dragon Lee powers Penta to the corner and gives a clean break. They circle the ring and Dragon Lee applies a waist lock. Penta does a standing switch. Dragon Lee twists out, but Penta sweeps his feet. They exchanged a few more counters before winding up in a stalemate. Penta struck, so Dragon Lee also does the strut. They lock up, and Dragon Lee hooks a side headlock. Penta hooks the head, so Dragon Lee whips him off. Dragon Lee drops down and rolls, but Penta kicks him in the midsection. Dragon Lee boots Penta back and hits the ropes before hitting a running hurricanrana. Dragon Lee puts Penta with a running kick, taking him down in the corner. Dragon Lee then hits a pendulum drop kick. Dragon Lee charged and does a handstand on the top turnbuckle. When Penta lifts him, Penta super kicks him and hits a handstand sling basement drop kick in the corner. Penta clotheslines Dragon Lee over the top rope and gets the crowd going. Penta sets up for a dive, but Dragon Lee gets in and knocks Penta out of the ring. Dragon Lee hits a somersault senton before putting him in the ring. Penta quickly hits the ropes and hits a toe con hilo. Penta gets him in the ring and hits a diving crossbody block for a 2 count. So we go to commercial break. We come back from the break to see both luchadors down. They get to their knees and then to their feet. Dragon Lee punches Penta, so Penta responds with one of his own. They exchange strikes and chops before Dragon Lee kicks him in the face. Dragon Lee hits the ropes, but Penta boots him. Dragon Lee knees him in the face and hits the ropes, but Penta turns him inside out with a super kick. Penta goes to the corner and signals for the end. Penta charged, but Dragon Lee super kicks him. Dragon Lee flips through a clothesline and rolls him up before going for a Styles Clash. Dragon Lee hits the Styles Clash in tribute to his retired partner AJ Styles. 1-2. Penta kicks out, and AJ Styles chant picks up. Penta gets out of Operation Dragon and hits the Penta driver. 1-2. Dragon Lee kicks out. Dragon Lee goes to the apron and rocks Penta with some strikes. Dragon Lee goes for a slingshot, but Penta kicks him down. Penta hits the ropes for a springboard, but Dragon Lee super kicks him. Penta falls off the apron and hits the commentary table. Dragon Lee hits the ropes and crushes Penta with a corkscrew suicide dive over the commentary table. The crowd is going wild. Dragon Lee grabs Penta and throws him into the ring. Dragon Lee hits the Operation Dragon 1-2. Penta barely kicks out. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." Dragon Lee pulls his elbow pad off and goes for a running elbow. Penta ducks and catches him with a huge Mexican destroyer for the win. The winner of the match is still your WWE Intercontinental Champion, Penta. This was a very good match between Dragon Lee and Penta for the WWE Intercontinental Champion. This was a very good match. Penta celebrates with the title before helping Dragon Lee to his feet. They embrace in the ring, and Dragon Lee shows respect to the champion. Corey Gray says, Estos lucha, this is wrestling. Alright, so we go to the Vision's dressing room. Paul Heyman is looking deceived and beaten. Logan Paul and Austin Theory are with him. Austin Theory says Brock Lesnar will do what he needs to do to over Femi. As for Seth Rollins, he's a dead man. They'll handle him. Paul Heyman says that's the worst thing they can do. Seth Rollins' game plan is a dive and conquer strategy. Seth Rollins hit him with a chair shot and stomped him. He's a 60-year-old man, and no ramifications. They have no leverage. They need titles. They need to get themselves into position for the Usos tag titles. Once they get those, he can position them for single titles. The focus needs to be on the Usos. Austin Theory says he applies the pressure. Paul Heyman says that's my vision. Paul Heyman says they'll get the tag titles. As of now, the Usos are ex-champions because they love him so much. They get LA Knight too. Logan Paul slaps Paul Heyman on the back and walks off. Paul Heyman is in a lot of pain. So Maxine Dupree makes her entrance. She'll battle Natty next. I had to take a sip of my water. Commercial break. Maxine Dupree versus Natty. I did not really care about this match, and that's all I gotta say from here. The bell rings and they start brawling. Natty takes her down and punches her. Natty hits a double leg takedown and shatters around the ring. Natty talks trash and kicks her in the face. Natty hits a good guillotine catapult into the middle rope. Natty puts Maxine Dupree in the tree of woe and gets out of the ring and pulls her back on her neck. Natty gets in the ring and applies a rear naked choke. Maxine Dupree fights out unconvincingly and applies an ankle lock. Natty rolls out and hits a counter roll for a 2 count. Maxine Dupree twists out of a near rear naked choke and rolls her up for a 2 count. Maxine Dupree hits a spinning heel kick and catches her breath. Maxine Dupree hits a pair of clotheslines and boots her in the head. Maxine Dupree avalanches her and hits a fisherman suplex. Maxine Dupree kips up and pulls her straps down. Maxine Dupree hits a step up leg drop for a 2 count. Natty avoids a boot in the corner and hits a chop block. Natty gets Maxine Dupree in an electric chair, but Maxine Dupree hits a victory roll into an ankle lock. Natty twists out and kicks her away. Maxine Dupree kicks her in the head from the apron and goes to the top rope. Natty avoids a dive and hits a disgust lariat. Natty applies the sharpshooter. Maxine Dupree claws the bottom rope, but Natty pulls her away. Maxine Dupree taps out. The winner by submission, Natty. This match itself, I did not really care about this match, and that's all I gotta say. Video package: streamers reacting to Randy Orton turning on Cody Rhodes, and like I said before, Randy Orton turned on Cody Rhodes because because he wants to get 15. If Randy Orton does not get 15, everybody rioting. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that Randy Orton turns on Cody Rhodes. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, why would you have Randy Orton become the number one contender at Elimination Chamber to have Randy Orton lose to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42? That doesn't even make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is you need to have Randy Orton to beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42, become the undisputed WWE champion. This is that Randy Orton from 2009. This is that 2009 Randy Orton right here. I likes that, and that's all I gotta say right here. Video package. Randy Orton appears on a granny webcam feed. Randy Orton is talking to someone on the phone about how it was time. Randy Orton says the person on the phone that he appreciates them doing this and will see them soon. Randy Orton hangs up. Randy Orton says he knows he said he'll do an interview for Michael Cole on Monday Night Raw, but he changed his mind. He'll leave him with this. Since Friday, people have been asking him a ton of questions. Finally, he had a conversation with someone with a brain. They said something profound to him, which made him reflect on his life and understand who he is and what he is. That made him understand why he did what he did to Cody Rhodes on SmackDown. Randy Orton says he's a killer. Randy Orton then says, "Hey, Michael Cole, wrestling has more than one royal family." So we go to backstage segment. Juwan Evans comes up to Dragon Lee, who is holding his neck in pain. Juwan Evans celebrates Dragon Lee performance. Kofi Kingston walks over and asks for a word with Juwan Evans. Kofi Kingston says he knows Juwan Evans wants to be the next face of WWE as a former WWE champion. It's all about you associate with. They are people who will lift you up or will be dragging him down. Juwan Evans declines to join the New Day. Grayson Waller comes up and says he doesn't see what Kofi Kingston sees in Juwan Evans. Kofi Kingston says people say the same thing about Grayson Waller. Danhausen comes up and wants to join the New Day. They don't want Danhausen to join the New Day. They're not afraid of his voodoo, whatever that is. Kofi Kingston pulls Grayson Waller in front of him as Danhausen says, "You are cursed." Danhausen claps, "You are cursed," to the rhythm of the New Day. New Day rocks. Grayson Waller is upset that he has been cursed. It is what it is. Let's move on. In the arena, Women's World Champion Stephanie McCurry heads to the ring. She'll face Raquel Rodriguez next. So we go to commercial break. So we get a non-title match. Women's World Champion De La Primera, Stephanie McCurry versus Raquel Rodriguez, accompanied by Liv Morgan. And this match right here, I ain't gonna lie. This was a decent match for what it was, and that's all I gotta say from here. This was a decent match. They lock up and Raquel Rodriguez powers her into the ropes before giving a clean break. Raquel Rodriguez shoulders her in the corner. Stephanie McCurry sends her to the opposite corner, but Raquel Rodriguez pops out with a shoulder tackle. Stephanie McCurry ducks a big boot and hits the ropes for a roll up pickup a 2 count. Raquel Rodriguez quickly ducks a clothesline and hits a stiff lariat. Raquel Rodriguez applies an overhead wrist lock, but Stephanie McCurry fights up. Raquel Rodriguez powers her down and goes for an elbow drop, but Stephanie McCurry Stephanie McCurry drops a leg for a 2 count. Stephanie McCurry ducks a hammer throw and goes for a running hurricanrana. Stephanie McCurry. Yeah, it says Stephanie McCurry power. I'm sorry. Raquel Rodriguez powers her down and goes for an elbow drop, but Stephanie McCurry moves. Stephanie McCurry drops a leg for a 2 count. Stephanie McCurry ducks a hammer throw and goes for a running hurricanrana. Stephanie McCurry powers her up, but Stephanie McCurry twists out and drop kicks her out of the ring. Stephanie McCurry gets on the apron and knees Raquel Rodriguez in the chest. Stephanie McCurry looks to looks at her at WrestleMania opponent. Liv Morgan with Coral Riggins pulls Stephanie McCure down and long darts her into the ring post. So we go to commercial break. Alright, back from the break, Stephanie McCure fights up and jumps on her back for a sleeper hold. Coral Riggins powers her into the corner and delivers some back elbows. Stephanie McCure drops to the canvas and rolls to the apron. Liv Morgan calls her a loser. Stephanie McCure snaps Coral Riggins off the ropes and kicks her back. Stephanie McCure hits a diving crossbody block. Stephanie McCure soon ducks a right hand from Coral Riggins and strikes her back. Stephanie McCure avoids a boot, getting Coral Riggins hung up on the ropes. Stephanie McCure then hits a dragon screw off the ropes. Stephanie McCure follows up with a Meteora in a corner. Alright. Stephanie McCure sets up for the Devil's Kiss, but Coral Riggins powers out. Coral Riggins powers out of a twisted move and hits a delayed front suplex. Coral Riggins goes for a slingshot crow screw elbow, but Stephanie McCure moves. Stephanie McCure then hits the Devil's Kiss to a big ovation. Liv Morgan gets on the apron, so Stephanie McCure scares her off. Coral Riggins then big boosts Stephanie McCure down. Io Sky heads to the ringside area and scares Liv Morgan off. Stephanie McCure pounces Io Sky over the commentary table. Stephanie McCure then hits a crossbody off the apron on Coral Riggins. Liv Morgan goes after Stephanie McCure, but Stephanie McCure sends her into the timekeeper's area. Stephanie McCure goes to the top rope for a diving crossbody block, but Coral Riggins catches her and hits a spinning slam. Coral Riggins goes for a Tejana bomb, but Stephanie McCure slides out and rolls her up for the win. Stephanie McCure holds her wrists in pain. The winner by pinfall, the women's world champion Stephanie McCure. This was a decent match for what it was. Alright, let's move on. Backstage segment. Lyra McCure is talking Bailey up. Bailey is dejected. Lyra McCure yelling at her and says they'll get to WrestleMania together. The Kabuki Wars comes up. Asuka says she never got Bailey, and Lyra McCure costing her in the match last week. She could beaten AJ Lee tonight. Asuka walks off, leaving a sad-looking Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane says, "Stay away from us." Asuka screams, "Kairi!" Kairi Sane scurries off. In the background, Logan Paul and Austin Theory came up and spoke with Max and Dupree, who was seated on the floor, holding her leg in pain. Alright, let's move on. Earlier tonight, Brock Lesnar ran over all of Seth Rollins' masked men before confronting Seth Rollins. Femi made the save and hit Brock Lesnar with a huge fall from grace. Femi then accepted the open challenge for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42. Those masked men look like putties from Power Rangers when they was running around, and that's all I gotta say. It says it is official. The ruler Femi will battle the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42, and I'm so excited for that match. Next week on Raw from Boston, Brock Lesnar will be live. World Tag Team Champions, the Usos versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Backstage segment. World Tag Team Champions, the Usos are walking backstage when LA Knight comes up to them. They all have business with the Vision going a long way back. LA Knight says he couldn't help but notice that Roman Reigns is getting crazy. They say it's family business. LA Knight needs to mind his own business. That was a bar by itself. LA Knight says he respects family business, but he can't respect the old bloodline return. LA Knight won't be on the same page if they do that. Jimmy Uso bumps his fist, but Jey Uso declines. LA Knight chuckles and walks off. Alright. So Roman Reigns heads to the ring. So we go to commercial break. So we get Roman Reigns address CM Punk, comments about his deceased father. So we get a closing segment from Roman Reigns. This was a good closing segment right here. Roman Reigns stands in the ring, and a loud OTC chant fires up. Roman Reigns looks around and then poses to a huge ovation. Yeah. I was making a video. All right. Roman Reigns greets the San Antonio crowd. Roman Reigns says, "Acknowledge me." Another OTC chant picks up. Roman Reigns says he knows they hear it in the back and understand whose show this is. Roman Reigns is in the beginning and middle. They already know who closed the show to the OCT to the OTC. You gotta forgive him. Phil gets a little confused. He must have forgotten they're in the main event on this show. Roman Reigns smiles and says, "You don't listen to that, Phil." The water's warm. Roman Reigns wants to handle some business with him. A CM Punk chant picks up loudly. World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk heads to the ring to get a great ovation. CM Punk makes his long entrance and stands across from Roman Reigns. The crowd is buzzing and chanting his name. Roman Reigns says, "Welcome to my ring. Welcome to my main event." CM Punk backs up and says, Roman Reigns keeps using his government name like it's supposed to be an insult. His friends and family are allowed to call him Phil. He maybe tried to insult Roman Reigns by calling him Titty Tacky or whatever his real name is, but he doesn't obsess over him or read his Wikipedia. He won't call Roman Reigns Joe because that would be insulting for a real Samoan whom he loves very much. Roman Reigns tells him to call Joe and asks who the real tribal chief is. CM Punk asks whether Roman Reigns is really sending all the Samoans after him. Roman Reigns says he'll just give them permission to do what they gotta do. CM Punk says they just high five him as everyone in San Antonio did. CM Punk will show him who's in charge. CM Punk asks if it's great to be alive on Monday Night Raw. Monday night in San Antonio, the crowd roars. A CM Punk chant picks up. CM Punk says he's surprised Roman Reigns hasn't taken a swing at him, talking about the main event. CM Punk has already won because he's in Roman Reigns' head. The crowd starts to sing Roman Reigns' name. So Roman Reigns says he expected him to say that, but he's on everyone's mind all the time. As for Punk, he just say anything like he's gotten him in the main event. Phil here hasn't main event anything this year. Phil couldn't even main event a live event tour in Europe. He's alone, let alone the main event of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns tells CM Punk to say something special. CM Punk says they're calling now, but he's called for Roman Reigns last week. Roman Reigns was too chicken to show up, so he sent his cousins. CM Punk says he is a gold medal habitual line stepper. He'll do whatever he please to gain an advantage. That's why the people love him and Roman Reigns doesn't. He didn't want Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso to get caught in the crosshairs, but they came out and handled family business. CM Punk deserves what he got. It was the right message, but the wrong messenger. Who is the real tribal chief? Roman Reigns asks the crowd why they're cheering for CM Punk. He hears this garbage for the 5 years. CM Punk is tried to redundant. He repeats the same you know what over and over. He's a part timer. Roman Reigns tells CM Punk to find out what the top player do. Like CM Punk's wife. Roman Reigns says until you come up with something that can actually praise him or praise me, don't waste my time, Phil. CM Punk steps in his way and backs him up. Roman Reigns goes to leave, but CM Punk gets out and stands in front of him. CM Punk says this is his ring and title. He'll tell Roman Reigns when he can leave. CM Punk calls him a young boy, and it says it's not the time. CM Punk says he can see and feel that he's in Roman Reigns' head. This is the last time Roman Reigns will main event WrestleMania. He'll lift Roman Reigns onto his shoulders as his CM Punk and Maniacs chant his name and split his ego with his knee before beating him on the grand stage of them all. An OTC chat picks up. Roman Reigns says he didn't want to go there because they have so much rich history to tap into. CM Punk is delusional. They know CM Punk is great on the microphone and at the mental games. CM Punk won't praise him. He's the most successful superstar CM Punk has ever run into. Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, and he has done everything under the sun in this business. CM Punk can't walk the walk. Can walk the walk. CM Punk isn't faster or stronger than him. CM Punk is nothing to him. That title on CM Punk's waist is an embarrassment. CM Punk is a try hard, making them look bad because he's old. CM Punk rocks him with their right hand. So CM Punk draws Roman Reigns with their right hand. Raw general manager Adam Pearce and other officials run down to keep CM Punk. Roman Reigns smiles and says he can play mind games too. Roman Reigns gets to his feet, smiling broadly and rubbing his eyebrow. Roman Reigns says CM Punk can't dish it, but if you say one thing, he folds and can't take it. CM Punk angrily walks off. This was a good closing segment between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And that's all I gotta say. Let me read this quick match results. El Grande Americano defeated original El Grande Americano. AJ Lee defeated Bayley. Submission to retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Penta defeated Dragon Lee to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship, which is a good match. Natty defeated Maxine Dupree. I did not care about that match. Women's World Champion Stephanie McCure defeated Wakara Rodriguez in a non-title match. That was a decent match for what it was. And WWE Raw goes off the air. Alright, let me get my spin what I think about WWE Raw. Now WWE Raw was a pretty good show for what it was, and I give that show a 7 out of 10. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE Raw review on highlights, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content I do in the channel. Follow my social media down below in the description. Get this video at least 30 likes on this video. And I will see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some WWE 2K26. Cause I'm going to play Universal Mode, and that's all I gotta say. But anyway, go check out my AEW Revolution review and highlights. Go show my AEW Revolution review and highlights some love, and that's all I gotta say. Have a great night. Stay safe and all. Stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet, mightier. Gang, mwah, bang, too sweet, gang. I just want to let my YouTube community know that I will be dropping my world premiere for my WWE Raw review on highlights at around 5 o'clock a.m. on YouTube. So stay too sweet. Have a great night, gang, mwah, bang, too sweet. gang.